Hey guys. So it's been crazy. I haven't really recorded in a while, I know. But I just wanted to make a quick and short episode to just kind of just talk about putting other people before yourself. Um I I know I do it a lot. Um I care too much about people's feelings, and I'm way too nice to a lot of people, and I take a lot of people for granted. Um, I try and fill people's cup when my cup is empty, if that makes sense. I give and I give and I give and I expect back, and I don't get anything back. And I guess it's just kind of a lesson to everybody out there who's like me. You give, you give, you give, you try, and you're not getting anything back. Is sometimes you gotta let go of the people that you're giving and you're not getting anything back, and you need to take some time to yourself to understand that, okay, I'm not getting anything back. Why am I gonna keep giving? It's it's all about sitting down with yourself at the end of the day and understanding, like, hey, you know, I gotta fix this, I gotta work on this, I gotta work on that. The way that I see it is giving and giving and giving out to other people is a way of taking your mind off of the real problems that are at hand in your own life, and you end up distracting yourself from your own problems. And so you treat people the way that you would have wanted to be treated. And you put yourself in their shoes and think, oh, I've been through this. This is what I wanted in that time. So I'm going to be there for them because it sucked when I didn't have anybody there for me. So I want to be there for that person. Sometimes at the end of the day, no matter how much you give and give and give and give, it's not going to come back to you. A lot of it isn't going to come back to you like that. That's not how life works. You can't expect things back when you give and give to other people. And I don't know. I can't really speak a whole lot on experiences because I've gave and gave and gave and gave, and I got nothing back in return. And I guess that's my fault for expecting things, especially from significant others and friends. But at the end of the day, don't give when you have nothing to give. Don't fill somebody's cup when you have nothing to fill it with. Don't pay for somebody's food when you're already in debt, for example. When you don't have the money to pay for something and you spend money you don't have to pay for it. Not only that, but a lot of people take advantage of kindness, and I don't think it's okay. But who knows? What can you do about it? I mean, it's life. People do what they want. Another thing is priorities. If you're in a relationship, if you've got a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, and they're working and they're busy, or they've got family problems going on, excuses are okay to a certain extent, but when it continues on for multiple days on end, not calling, not texting, not a single word, not an I'm okay, stop taking that excuse and withdraw yourself. Best way that I can put it is just, you are never too busy for somebody, and somebody is never too busy for you. They aren't your priority, or you aren't their priority. And that falls into a big lack of consideration thing. You shouldn't have to tell people how to treat you, and people shouldn't have to tell you how to treat them. This is for everybody. If you're the person who has lack of consideration, or you're the person that's on the other end of it, doesn't matter. Nobody should have to speak up about how to be treated right. Because if you really have to do that, it isn't right. It isn't right that you have to do that. It is common sense on how to treat somebody. And I hate that a lot of people use excuses of, oh, I'm busy doing this, I'm busy doing that. At the end of the day, no one's really ever that busy to not text back. I mean, even if it's just a simple, you're going to bed, text a good night. But on the other hand, don't give that person on the receiving end where you're not texting them or anything like that, don't give them breadcrumbs either. And for the people who are on the receiving end where you're waiting for something and these people are like, oh yeah, work busy, blah, 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 blah. Don't accept breadcrumbs from just a good night. Find a time to talk to each other and figure out what's going on. How can you guys communicate more, talk more? Because obviously, when you're just picking up breadcrumbs, you're not communicating and you're not talking. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people in the younger generation, or in my generation at least, we don't communicate enough. We don't talk enough. And it causes the end of a lot of relationships because of it. Another thing is emotional immaturity and just immaturity in general, honestly. Yeah, people are going to have problems. People are going to go through things. It's just sometimes there's things that you should talk about and things you shouldn't talk about. And if this is a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you constantly talk about your problems, good for you. But it gets to a point where all you're doing is talking about your problems and it starts getting mentally draining for that partner who's listening about your problems. Sometimes you guys just need a really good break, a breather to understand what's going on, because you could be pushing so many problems onto your partner when they already have problems going on their own, and vice versa. And I'm not saying, like, don't talk about it. I mean, obviously talk about it, but you can't only rely on your partner or significant other. You gotta rely on other people as well. Family members, friends, other people that you can up to. It solely can't just be your partner, because it can get really draining. And speaking of that, I want to get back to the topic of giving and giving and giving and not getting anything back. When I meet a lot of people, I try and treat them as good as I can. Some people I can't put up with them. I get irritated too easily. It happens. Sometimes I have an explanation for it. Sometimes I don't. I just don't like the person. And there's this one guy that I have met, and he's really sweet and kind, and he's got his own company going, and he wants to own a hotel someday. He's got all these things going on, and he's so busy with so much stuff, and he's always overloaded with work. He's always working 24/7, waking up at 5 a.m. just to deal with work. It's understandably so tiring for them, and he still makes time to play video games with me. He makes time to call me. He makes time to talk to me, to be like, hey, do you want to watch YouTube together? Things like that. And it really goes to show that no matter how busy you are, no matter how many excuses you give, like, oh, I'm busy doing this, I'm busy doing that, this guy is so busy with everything, and he never fails to make time for me. And it's really raised my standard with people, because this guy's literally a CEO. He owns his own shit, but other people don't have that going on, and they can't even send a goodnight text. Come on, it's kind of no hate to other people, but that's kind of pathetic. It's kind of sad. No disrespect, but I mean, I've gone through that my whole life, and why am I gonna keep going through that? Why am I gonna keep making myself suffer just because nobody's put you on their priority list? And maybe the guy that I'm talking to that's always so busy with his work and company and all that and still making time for me, maybe we work out. I hope we do. But I'm so used to so many people leaving. I'm scared. And I sound like a broken record every time I talk to this guy. I mean, always telling them, you mean so much to me. I care about you. All these things. And I tell them that in hopes that maybe they'll understand, oh, this person really cares about me. Why am I going to leave? Why am I going to leave when I'm getting all this attention from somebody who actually likes me, who actually thinks that I'm important, Problem with that is that, yeah, I tell this guy, I care about you, or I miss you, all these things. And I want it to be an understanding to him, like, this girl really cares about me. Like, why am I going to leave? But I'm also scared that it'll be taken wrong and I seem like I'm pushy, or I'm doing too much, or I'm too lovey-dovey, or I'm like gross because maybe I'm taking things too quickly. But the thing is that it's been quite a few months already, and not like I say like I love you a lot. I really don't. I used to say it a lot in the beginning of a lot of relationships, and it would be really quick. But with this guy, I waited and waited and waited. And one night, it's really quiet. We just got done like opening up to each other. It was a really deep night. We had a lot of deep conversations, and going to bed, I said, I love you. And he said it back. And I didn't say it for another good month. And when I'm really in my feelings and I'm really scared that this person's going to leave, this person that I'm trying to put so much effort and time into and make work, I mean, I'm so scared sometimes, and I'll get so scared to the point where I start crying, and I'll text them randomly, and I'll be like, look, like, I know I say it a lot, or I don't say it enough. I was like, but I love you. And I was like, you mean a lot to me. But what's scary to me is that I overthink a lot, and I'm scared that if I keep going on with what I'm doing, me saying I love you, assuring them, all that stuff, it's going to get overwhelming and they're going to leave, or they're going to get upset or irritated because it's too much. It's too much. And dealing with this fear of people leaving me, I mean, not even this guy, but I mean, just in general, like, the fear of people leaving me is so deeply rooted into my soul, because I mean, I'm scared to ask questions more than once, like, if I ask a question and I don't get an answer the first time, I'm scared to ask again. It doesn't matter if maybe you didn't hear me, or maybe you just didn't understand what I said and I had to ask again, or you heard me but you chose not to answer, or you heard me and you couldn't answer. I'm scared to ask a second time because I'm scared that I'll get yelled at. And that plays a big role into how I grew up. I had this time with my brother, and I had asked him a question, and he didn't answer. And so I had asked him again. He didn't answer. Third time I asked, he turns around, he starts yelling at me. He's like, if I don't fucking answer, then that means that I don't know the answer. And it obviously scared me, because little 7-year-old me, I was just trying to ask a question, and now that I'm older, it's like I'm scared to ask more than once, because I just don't want to get yelled at for no reason. And so I don't ask a question more than once. I'm scared to. I don't speak up for myself because I'm scared that speaking up for myself will start an argument. I was in a relationship just recently where I was trying to justify why I am the way I am, why I respond to certain things the way that I respond to them. And they got upset. And they were like, stop trying to justify yourself, nobody cares, blah, 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 blah. And they got upset. And so I completely shut down. And so now I don't really like opening up to people. I don't like asking questions more than once. I don't like speaking up for myself, because there's so many things that have happened before. I just shut down. So, yeah. But, at the end of the day, I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to be more of a mature person, you know, take things seriously, you know, not get upset over the smallest things. It is what it is. And there's not much I can do about it. And yeah, I have, somebody said that I had self-doubt, and part of me believes it, honestly. I try not to doubt myself so much, but I mean, there's obvious situations where, you know, I freak out. I panic, and it sucks. Sometimes I can't comprehend things the way that I would like to, and sometimes I'll be in a game with a couple friends or with the guy that I like, and I'll be in a ranked game, and there's something that he says that or does or points out, and I'm like, yeah, I understand, or like I acknowledge it, but I don't comprehend it right. And when we end up dying because of me not comprehending it, and I have to explain, like, I just couldn't comprehend what was going on. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I panic and I stumble over my own words. And the reason why I panic and stumble over my words is because I don't want it to seem like I'm stupid, you know, like I can't comprehend things, and that I'm dumb and I suck and I'm bad at the game. And I panic because I don't want the guy that I like that's there to think, oh, this girl's stupid, you know, she's never going to have a future. There's nothing she's going to have in life, you know, she's not going to graduate high school, things like that. Because of me simply just not being able to comprehend something in a game. And I feel bad for it. I honestly do. Because it's like, I wish you could see me and understand, like, hey, I can comprehend these things. I am a smart person. I do the right thing. You know, I try and do the right thing if it's a hard thing to do. Like, if I'm getting yelled at, I'm going to do the right thing and stay calm and talk to this person and figure out what the problem is. But me a couple years ago, same situation, I would have yelled back. 100%. And I used to get angry all the time. And yeah, I still get irritated every now and then at the littlest stuff, but I still get irritated. But I guess it's just more on the whole me comprehending thing. I don't want that person to see me as like, oh, this girl can't comprehend this, so I don't want to be with them. I don't want to marry them someday. I don't want to start a future because they're stupid. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to be seen as some stupid person, because I'm really not, you know. Like, I work good, like, under pressure when it comes to in real life situations, but in game, man, forget it. My game awareness sucks. I'll, of course, work on the self-esteem, self-doubt, you know, the depression, taking things personally. I know that I do shut down a lot. And one of my biggest things with this guy that I really like is he really sees me for how I am and who I am. He sees the little things about me. One time we were on a call through his phone, and we were talking, and he said something about, you're in my pocket, you know, like, give me a second, I can't hear you. I didn't understand what he was saying. It was really muffled. So I was like, huh? What'd you say? I'm so sorry. Like, I apologize a lot when I can't hear somebody and I have to have them repeat themselves. And so I was like, what'd you say? I'm so sorry. And then he left. He hung up. And I was like, oh, like, I'm sorry. I really didn't hear you. You know, like, I got upset about it. Like, I got sad because I was like, I really didn't hear you. Like, I'm sorry. And then they joined the call on their Xbox, and I was like, oh, that's just what you were doing. And he told me, he was like, you really thought that I was gonna hang up and got irritated because you couldn't hear me? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I would never get irritated. And it's the little reassurances like that it's like, wow, you know, like, somebody does care. But on the other hand, this guy's so busy with work and he's got all these things and he makes time for me, yeah. But it's the little affection that it's like, I don't know if you really do care, if you want things to work out. We do little gestures and we flirt every now and then and stuff comes up and all that. Yeah, but it's not something that I'm dead set on that. I understand you're going to be there for me. Like, I'm still scared to cry, like I'm still scared to cry in front of that person. And I'll get into that on other things, emotional vulnerability and things like that. But I'm going to end the episode here. Again, thank you everybody for listening, and I hope you have a good night. Bye-bye.